Freddie up here.
Hey guys, how we doing? Good. How we doing? Good. How we doing? Good. Real quick, guys. You know, I heard this quote from Winnie the Pooh. Anybody know Winnie the Pooh? Chad? I feel you, Chad. Winnie the Pooh. She said. I'm not quite sure how that goes. She said, sometimes reaching out and taking someone's hand is the beginning of a journey. So if you could, think about this for a second. As we're about to take today, I love this. Everybody see Chad here? Chad, reaching out. If you guys can, if you can look across your table, maybe there's somebody that you don't know, or maybe you know them really well, just say, hey, how you doing? All right, if you're from a different school, can you say hey to the other school around from you? Cool, guys. When we think about this Winnie the Pooh quote, you know, sometimes when you take someone's hand, it's the first step in reaching out to connect with somebody. I think one of the biggest things when we talk about leadership and inclusion for today is today, you know, I was talking with Travis, today is really about one thing. Today, you guys are all becoming these leaders for next year and you've been growing in your space. Today is really about one thing, and that is being intentional. And it's finding that intention about what's truly important. And you know, when I think about this, I actually went to Del Oro, so I'm the local kid. In DO, I was the rally commissioner, and I had this intention for one of the rallies. We were going to do a rally where it was really going to highlight a lot of different types of people. You know, we do the football rally, we do homecoming rally, but this rally was going to be different. And I would encourage you guys today, as you're planning and getting ready for next year about being intentional, how can we be different? Because in this rally, for one, it was to highlight our wrestling team. We did this wrestling rally so that we could really highlight this team that was so good, but never got the attention. And in the rally, I wanted to really highlight other people, not just in the wrestling team, but people that normally don't get that kind of interaction. So there was this boy. Think about maybe on campus, you have these people that are kind of by themselves. There was this kid, imagine this, he's about 6'3". He's got a black trench coat on. He's got his nails painted and face paint, and he kind of would be described as maybe gothic. He walked around campus every day during brunch, and he juggled these balls. He juggled tennis balls, he juggled blocks, he juggled whatever. And so one day I went up to Jason, and I said, hey, what's your name? He goes, oh, it's Jason. I said, hi, I'm Freddie. He goes, I was like, don't eat me. Like, don't eat me. This guy's like 6'3". I'm like, please don't, I'll be friendly here. He goes, what do you want? I said, well, you know, this juggling thing you do, would you like to do that in a rally? He's like, yeah, of course, yeah, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. So, long story short, Jason ended up juggling these really cool things. He's like, hey, can I juggle swords? And I'm like, maybe not. And fire? And he goes, yeah. So what happens is he ends up juggling. And the whole school, there's like maybe 3,000 kids in there. The whole school's like, yeah, that's awesome. Jason comes up to me about a week later. And he says, Freddie, thank you. And I said, what's up? You know, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It was cool. You did a great job. He goes, no, thank you. Because so many people around campus, they've never really said hi to me. And they don't know my name, but when I walk around, they're like, hey, juggler dude, that was sick. You rock. So when you guys are thinking about today, I'd encourage you to be intentional about how can we include other people? How can we include Jason? How can we include those people that maybe are on the outskirts that want to feel connected or belong to the school? So, like I said, today's about one thing. It's about creating that intention and being intentional for the year that you want to create. So if you can, try this for me. Can you put your hands on your ears? Can you try this for me? Can you say, let's be intentional?
Let's be intentional.
Try this for me. From your ears, can you put one hand over your heart? Kind of make like one of these. Be like, it comes from here.
Comes from here.
All right. And the final piece is, can you try this for me? Can you put your hands out? And it starts with these.
Start with these.
So let's try this all together. From your ears, we're going to hear it. Okay, here we go. Ears, heart, hands. All right, let's try this all together. One more time. Ears, heart, hands. All right, let's try to say it. Ears, heart, hands. Here it goes. Ears, heart, hands. Ears, heart, hands. Ears, heart, hands. Okay, all right. Guys, one more story, because I know a lot of you are working on rallies, you're working on prom, you're working on lunchtime activities. When I was a senior in high school, does anybody know what a senior project is?
Yeah.
Does anybody have a senior project that they have to do or thinking about it? Okay. So, when I was in high school, our senior project, I co-did it with a buddy of mine. And we decided to put on a dance because we wanted to fundraise for some speakers. We wanted to get these, like the portable speaker that you have here. We wanted to get those. And so we put on this dance. And here was the intention around the dance. The intention was, how can we get kids to come to our dance that normally wouldn't come to the dance? You know, you think about prom, and you might have those friends that are like, I'm probably not going to go to that, or, no, it's not for me. How can we get them involved and connected? And so what my buddy and I did, we put on this dance, and we had ping pong tables, and we advertised that we're going to have like a ping pong competition at the dance. You're thinking about prom, and you're like, how does a ping pong competition work at prom? But it was cool because we had, different things. We had the Polaroid pictures back then before Instagram. Does anybody remember Polaroid pictures? Very cool. All right, Chad, I feel you. I feel it. So it's this idea of being intentional, whether it's a rally or a dance, but being intentional on coming from a place of love. And I think that's the biggest piece about as we think today and we grow, it's every little thing, whether it's the rally, whether it's a dance. If we come from a place of love, kind of like Winnie the Pooh, that's why I love Winnie the Pooh. When we come from that place, we can make some real change. And the last thing I'd say is, when we did the ears and the heart and the hands, leadership is really about three things. It's about your ears, your heart, and your hands. Because when you think about it, we listen with our ears, when we listen to what our wants and needs are from our friends and our peers. Our heart is a matter of fostering those relationships with people to include them in our leadership. And the last is our hands. The biggest thing about our hands is the hands is actually creating the moments for other people to shine. Maybe it's your Jason, whoever it is. But by listening, by fostering the relationships and creating moments, that's what today's about. Today, you're creating those moments that are going to help other people shine. Because the last thing is, my mentor one time said, what happens when you change the me, the N and the me upside down? What does that turn into? So when we change the me to we realize that it's not about me, but it's about we. And how can we create the kind of school, the kind of dance, the kind of rally, the lunchtime activity that comes from a place of love? So if we were going to write any notes down about today, this would be the first thing. Be a mascot. When you think about a leader, I think about the greatest example of a leader is a mascot. Because a mascot, you think about it, whether you're an eagle or a Viking or a Titan, whatever you are, when you put on that mascot out, that mascot thing, that creature, whatever it is, when you put the mascot on, you're recognizing that you're selfless, because you recognize when you put that cover over your face and you're putting on this creature, you're realizing that it's not about me, it's about we. Because when you're a mascot, you're really leading other people without them knowing that it's really you. So when I say this is, the second thing is to find your Jason. So be a mascot, find your Jason. And the final piece about everything about today, when you're trying to be clear on what your intention is for the kind of leadership that you want to have for next year, I think the biggest way, and for me, in terms of being intentional, is to really come from a place of love. Really coming from a place of love. So can you try this for me one more time, guys? You put your hands on your ears. Okay, can you say this for me? Come from a place of love.
Come from a place of love.
And it starts with these. Little shake, shake, shake. Little Winnie the Pooh. Come from a place of love, and it starts here in the heart. Come from a place of love. A couple of these. And the last one. Come from a place of love starts with these. Appreciate that. Thank you.